Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to the Yadi Video Club. It's so wonderful to have you with us. We're right here in our new Herzl Moed and Conference Center. And what a blessing to have you with us in this wonderful hall that many of our hardworking and beloved partners have made possible to be here in the Herzl Moed Hall. I'm talking to you right now from the platform, from the dais of the Herzl Moed Hall. And we're so happy and blessed, and we just thank Yahweh for the opportunity to come into your homes and into your living rooms and into your ears and into your hearts so that you also can partake with us of the Shabbat teachings that we experience here every week in the Miami Beach, Israel revival. The prophet Yoel in Yoel chapter 2 verse 32 says the following: "It shall come to pass that whoever shall call the name of Yahweh shall be delivered." And that's what we do here through our Shabbat Video Club. We pronounce, proclaim, and propagate the name of Yahweh Elohim throughout the world so that his name may be known, may be loved and treasured as he desires and as he has commanded us. For in Har Zion and in Yerushalayim, in other words, among the people of Zion, shall be deliverance and escape. Notice there shall be salvation and escape from all the untruths, all the errors, and all the false religions. So when we come to the knowledge of who we are as Yisrael, members of Yeshua's Commonwealth of Israel, all born-again believers, one in the nation of renewed covenant, Israel, we not only experience personal eternal life, which is salvation, but we also experience escape from all the false religions and all the false doctrines that we were entangled in before, and those bondages that we, of course, were entangled in. And Yahweh, by his chesed, his mercy, has delivered us from all those false bondages. As Yahweh has said, Yahweh has promised to bring forth a special people who has escaped the falsehood of the nations, the stranglehold of Satan upon mankind, and among the remnant survivors whom Yahweh shall call. You see, if you like that program, Survivor, or you realize that survivors are precious to Yahweh, we are the remnant survivors called by Yahweh to be delivered and to experience salvation. That's us, both houses of Israel, the house of Yehudah, the house of Ephraim, the two sticks becoming one in Yahshua's hand. And we are so privileged to deliver the word of Yahweh to you, to come here into the Herzl Moed Conference Center, to our conference, to our sanctuary, and of course now into your homes. We want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for partnering with us to make this opportunity a reality, to bring you the unadulterated, inerrant word of Yahweh in a day and an age when so many are denying the Brit Hadashah, the renewed covenant, the New Testament. They're denying certain books or certain writings of the Apostle Shaul. What a command, what a mandate Yahweh has given us to uphold the faith, to struggle for the faith, and to defend the faith once for all, delivered to the saints, to the Kiddushim. So right now, let's go right across our little parking lot here and go right into the main sanctuary of B'nai Yeshua Synagogue and the Miami Beach Yisrael Revival. Shabbat Shalom. Okay, this message, and you guys got to give me half an hour because I wasn't going to preach a message at all, and then I felt like it's not fair to you guys who are returning from the nations. And this is your first Purim, and you really don't know much about Purim. It's very important that you have a good working knowledge of Purim, okay? I mean, it's nice if we come in and we read the Megillah and we watch our children's play and all those things, but if we don't know the beauty of the account of Purim, what good is it? Amen? I said amen? Amen. So give me your undivided attention, please. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. This is a Radio Shack toy, or Sam Goody toy. There's an old saying in Judaism, I guess Same like Confucius used to teach. You get what you pay for. You ever see a microphone holder that doesn't hold the mic? Something's not clicking, right? Purim is a prophetic look, the book of Esther, today. We're going to see in the book of Esther, and I'm going to read quickly for the sake of time. You're going to love this message. So get your eyes bulged, all right? Get your spine cracked. Get your feet massaged. This is it, right here. I'm going to give it to you fast in a nuclear fashion. It's going to come quickly, okay? Because I only have a short amount of time before the kinder comes in, and this is turned into a garden for kinder. All right? Otherwise known as a kindergarten. Purim is a prophetic look, this message, Purim, the prophetic look at Nazism, 1946, Iran, and modern-day genocide and the end of days. Again, Purim, prophetic look at Nazism, 1946, Iran, and modern genocide in the end of days. Yahweh's name, as we mentioned in the Moed Hall, brothers and sisters, is hidden in the book of, in Megillat Esther. Because Yahweh is working for Israel behind the scenes, in all generations. Yahweh purposely writes a book of the Bible and doesn't put his name in there because he wants us to what? Walk by faith and not by sight. For without emunah, it is impossible to please Yahweh. For those who come to Yahweh must believe that he is, listen, and that he is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. He wanted Israel to diligently seek him, Jewish Israel, in order to experience their deliverance. He wanted someone to come into the kingdom for such a time as this, Esther 4:14, so that his deliverance could be fully and wholly made manifest. Where do we get the word Esther from? If we go to Devarim 31:17, turn with me please to Devarim, Deuteronomy 31:17. Then my anger, speaking about Israel's disobedience, disobeying Yahweh's Torah, then my anger shall be lit against them in that day. I will forsake them. Notice, this is a prophetic declaration of Purim. Yahweh says, if they disobey me and don't honor my word and don't listen to my commandments, my chukim and my what? Mishpatim, I will forsake them. I will ester panai. I will ester panai. Literally means I will ester my face. Is that too complicated? So this is a prophetic declaration of the times when Yahweh would hide his face, like seasons and times in Jewish Israel's history, as well as Ephraim Israel's history, known as Purim. Yahweh says, if they disobey my commandments and my mishpatim, they will be devoured. Look at verse 17. Many evils and troubles shall befall them. So they will say in that day, are not these evils have come upon us? Because our Elohim is not among us. Not among us, that means since he's not among us, we can't find his name in the story because the people of Israel thought they had been forsaken by Yahweh. And not only was his hand missing, his face missing, his love missing, his sovereignty missing, his purpose missing, his name is not even in the book of Esther, but Yahweh says, I'm a covenant keeper. I'm in control. I will stop the extermination of every generation that tries to eliminate the Jewish people. And I'm not saying Israel, I'm saying the Jewish people. Because without the Jewish people, there is no Ephraim. The roots and the fatness bear thee up. And you do not bear the fatness and the roots. And Yeshua was not the king of Ephraim. He was the king of the Yehudim. And you praise Yahweh for your Jewish brothers that preserved Mashiach, the covenant, the Tanakh, the Torah, all the things that the Hamans of this world wanted to remove. Now, we go to a very interesting few scriptures that we're going to cover over the next half hour. Shemot 17. Shemot 17. Exodus 17. And let's look at verse 13. Exodus, Shemot 17. And let's start quickly in 13. Yehoshua defeated Amalek and their people with the edge of the sword. Who's Yehoshua? Joshua, good. And Yahweh said to Moshe, write this for a memorial in a scroll. What is the Hebrew word for scroll? Megillat Esther. What do we say Esther was? Hiding his face. Yahweh says, A, when Israel disobeys me, I will Esther Panai. And when I Esther Panai, you are to prophetically write it in the scroll. This speaks of the scroll of Esther, when the Yehudim appeared to be forsaken and left to extermination and Holocaust in ancient Persia. Does this blow your mind? Yahweh says, I will hide my face, and therefore when I make war with Amalek, you are to write it in a scroll. Look at verse 14. Write this for a memorial in a scroll and rehearse it in the ears of Yehoshua. So what is the remez, the hint? Literally, Joshua writes it in a scroll, right? But the remez, the hint is, there is coming another scroll, and that other scroll will be the scroll of Esther, where Yahweh will hide his face from Israel. And he says, guess what? I will hide my face, and therefore you are to what? Write it in a scroll. Is that amazing stuff? So in the Pashat, in the literal, it is Joshua writing it in a scroll. Moshe and Joshua, actually Moshe Rabbeinu, writing this in a scroll, right? But in the remez, what is remez? Hint. There are 4 levels of Hebraic interpretation. I'm glad you're listening. Pashat, remez, drash, and sod. Plain, remez, hint, drash, allegory, parable, sod, secret, mystery. The hidden meaning here, the remez, is that there will be a book in the days when Esther Panai. Why? Because, look, verse 14. I will utterly, here's Yahweh's covenant pledge. Turn to your neighbor and say covenant pledge. Here's Yahweh's covenant pledge. Not pledge that you use to clean your kitchen counter. Covenant pledge. I will put out the remembrance, the existence of Amalek from under the Shemayim. So Yahweh says, not only will I preserve the people of Israel in covenant forever, I will do so by eliminating not just the people of Amalek, but the very memory of Amalek. Purim is about Amalek. That Yahweh promised to take the Amalekites who fought against Israel coming out of Mitzrayim, who attacked them in the way, who blindsided them in the way, who sabotaged them in the way, who set up roadside traps like we have in modern-day Iraq in the way, and said, I will not only protect Israel from Amalek today and in the future, I will war with Amalek. I will put out their remembrance from under the heavens. Watch this, notice. From under the Shemayim, meaning they will rise to exterminate the Jewish people in every generation, but when they rise, I will rise, and in every generation I will fight and will exterminate the plans, the purposes, and the malintentions of Amalek against Jewish Israel. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. And Moshe built the altar and he called the name of it Jehovah Nisi. Right? Wrong. Yahweh Nisi, or Yahweh is my banner. What banner? The banner that he will blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under the heavens, the Shemayim. Look at verse 16. Here's why. Here's why the book of Esther is Yahweh hiding his face, writing it in a scroll, hiding his name, hiding his apparent workings, thinking that the Jewish people have been given up to genocide and extermination, but really Yahweh allows the darkness to invade the evil with light, hope, and power of his covenant protection. Yahweh is a covenant-keeping Yahweh. Hallelujah. And I'm not going to shut up, and I'm not going to calm down, and I'm not going to lower my voice, because I am in love with my husband, my heavenly husband, my bridegroom, because he will make war against Amalek, not just for me, not just for my children, not just for my grandchildren, but for every generation that is yet to be born until the return of Yeshua HaMashiach in power and in great glory, somebody. Because Yahweh's, look at this, look at verse 16. Here's why. Yahweh's hand, Amalek's hand, Exodus 17:16. Amalek's hand is on the kisei. What is the kisei? The throne of Yahweh. And so Yahweh will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. Listen, this is a perpetual, eternal battle that will never stop as long as there are generations of men yet to be born, because Amalek not just